The excavation site on Kepler 442b had been quiet for weeks. Too quiet, Dr. Rowan Vale thought as he brushed centuries of crimson dust from the massive stone sculpture. The other archaeologists had abandoned the dig after the third seismic event, calling it cursed, calling it a fool's errand. But Rowan had never been one to listen to superstition. Not when humanity had crossed light years to reach this world. Not when every alien civilization they'd encountered had dismissed humans as the restless children of Sul. The statue towered above him, 30 meters of obsidian-like stone carved into the unmistakable form of a dragon. Not the fairy tale kind from Earth's ancient myths, but something older, more primal. Its wings were folded against a serpentine body, and its eyes, those hollow, stone eyes, seemed to follow him as he worked. "You're still here," Rowan murmured, running his gloved hand along the dragon's foreclaw. "Everyone else gave up on you. Said you were just a monument, just rock." The wind howled through the canyon, carrying with it the whispers of a dead world. The architects, whoever they had been, had left behind ruins on 17 planets, each one empty, each one silent. The galactic community had studied them for millennia, learned nothing, and moved on. But humans didn't know when to quit. Rowan pulled out his scanner, checking the internal structure one more time. The readings were impossible. Hollow spaces where there should be none. Crystalline matrices that resembled neural pathways. Energy signatures so faint they might have been background radiation, or might have been something else entirely. "The others think I'm crazy," Rowan said, speaking to the statue as he often did during lonely nights on alien worlds. "Maybe they're right. Talking to a rock. But you know what? Every dead civilization we've found, every ruin, every artifact, someone spoke to them once. Someone believed in them." He climbed the scaffolding to the dragon's head where ancient script spiraled around its crown. The translation matrix had taken weeks to decode, and even then, the message was fragmentary. "When the last ember fades, when silence claims the stars, wake the..." The rest was eroded beyond recovery. Rowan pressed his palm against the dragon's forehead, feeling the cold stone beneath his touch. Humanity had a reputation among the stars. Troublemakers, dreamers, the species that refused to accept the universe's limitations. When the Tharn Collective had declared faster-than-light travel impossible, humans built the quantum fold drive. When the Selenite Empire said artificial gravity couldn't work in deep space, human engineers proved them wrong. Stubbornness wasn't just a trait, it was humanity's superpower. "You know what I think?" Rowan whispered, his breath fogging in the thin atmosphere. "I think the architects didn't leave you here as a monument. I think they left you as a failsafe, a guardian. And I think..." He paused, feeling foolish but pushing through anyway. "I think you're still listening." The mountain was silent. Rowan closed his eyes, remembering why he'd become an archaeologist. Not for the prestige or the discoveries, but because someone had to speak for the forgotten. Someone had to remember. "Wake up," he whispered. The mountain trembled. At first, Rowan thought it was another quake, but the vibration was different, rhythmic, purposeful, like a heartbeat stirring after an eternity of sleep. Cracks spiderwebbed across the statue's surface, and a deep amber light blazed from within, turning the obsidian translucent. Rowan stumbled backward on the scaffolding as the dragon's eyes ignited with golden fire. The stone wasn't crumbling, it was shifting, reconfiguring. Ancient mechanisms clicking into place after eons of dormancy. The wings unfurled with a sound like thunder, and Rowan realized with bone-deep certainty that this had never been a statue at all. "You spoke," a voice rumbled. Not through the air, but directly into Rowan's mind, reverberating through his skull like the tolling of a cosmic bell. After 3,000 cycles of silence, "You spoke." Rowan gripped the scaffolding railing, his heart hammering. "Vadrix?" The name had been in the fragmentary text, a word the translation matrix had marked as either guardian or devourer. The linguistic analysis couldn't determine which. The dragon's head turned, and those molten eyes fixed on the human. "That was my name once before the architects fell. Before the silence." Massive claws scraped against stone as the creature stretched, muscles made of living metal and crystalline bone groaning with reanimation. "I remember every word spoken to me across the millennia. Prayers, curses, pleas for salvation." The dragon's gaze softened, something almost gentle in those ancient eyes. "But you You were the first to simply ask me to wake. The seismic activity, Rowan breathed, understanding flooding through him. That wasn't the planet rejecting us. That was you, trying to respond. Your species, Vadrix said, lowering his enormous head until it was level with the scaffolding, makes noise in the silence. You are young, reckless, and you refuse to accept that some things should remain asleep. The dragon's tone carried something that might have been amusement. The architects created me to guard their secrets until someone worthy arrived. Someone who would not take impossible for an answer. Rowan's mind raced. What secrets? Knowledge that could elevate a civilization, or destroy it. Vadrix's wings spread fully now, blotting out the alien stars. The other species in this galaxy are ancient, wise, cautious. They see a locked door and assume it should stay locked. But humans? The dragon's laugh was like an avalanche. You see a locked door and build a battering ram. Is that a compliment or a criticism? Rowan asked, finding his courage. Both. Neither. It is observation. Vadrix extended one foreclaw, and a holographic display materialized in the air. Star maps, equations, schematics for technologies that made human science look like cave paintings. The architects left this for those brave enough, foolish enough to wake their guardian, for those who speak to legends as if they still breathe. Rowan stared at the treasure trove of knowledge, then back at the dragon. Why us? Why humanity? Vadrix's eyes gleamed. Because you are the only species in 3,000 years who thought to say please. The mountain trembled again, but this time with purpose. Deep beneath the surface, ancient systems powered up, broadcasting a signal across the cosmos. In the halls of the Tharn Collective, alarms began to sound. On Selenite ships, sensors detected the impossible, the Architect's network, awakening after millennia of silence. And on Kepler 442b, a human archaeologist and a dragon older than empires stood together, ready to show the galaxy what happened when someone finally listened to the legends. Humanity had whispered to the darkness, and the darkness had answered.